All right, welcome to the Handshake V2 overview of the hard fork. This was created by Nole, Andrew Lee. I'm Mike. I'm just going to kind of break it into slides. GitHub's a little bit hard for me to follow, and so hopefully this will help some others. So Handshake V1 was the original Handshake, and the founders decided to be autistic and give it all away, which is beautiful and many of us love. They raised money from investors and they gave it to the open source community and GitHub allocation. You see 10.2 million was raised from VCs listed here, and you can see it at handshake.org/grant-sponsors, and of that money it was all given to these recipients of open source communities, which is really noble and amazing and has attracted myself and many others to this project. And as well, 68% of the genesis was allocated to the GitHub airdrop, which is about 900 million HNS coins. But there is a lesson from this. As of August 2024, over 4.5 years after mainnet in February 2020, only 2.9% of that 900 million HNS has been claimed by the GitHub developer community. So there's lots of lessons I'm not going to read here. You can pause and read if you'd like, or check the original GitHub. But this has created a huge lockup of a majority of the coins that's been discussed over many years. So what to do with the 890 million HNS that's not yet been claimed? This is a proposal called Handshake V2, a launchpad for communities. It consists of 4 main sections. You can read the full detail. I'll take some screenshots and some text from that here, but you can see the GitHub link below. So the first is the reallocation. It's broken down into these parts, where it's splitting into 2 parts. One part is reallocating to open source to the following groups of inaugural group, TLDs that have SLDs sold, all TLDs, and a Handshake V2 company. The other amount will be allocated to a Republic of TLDs amount. So the first part of that first half is inaugural communities. You can see listed here: Namebase, HSD Core, Sky Include, Kaioken, which is the creators of Bob Wallet, Superlink, Eskimo, and other recommendations that is open for people to submit. This would be used for those groups to allocate and incentivize their communities. The second part is an airdrop to the TLD communities that have SLD sales, that have domain sales. These would be both on-chain and off-chain. Of course, everyone knows the Namebase registry, the original HNS Agamin in India, and .stars and Stargaze in a Cosmos ecosystem. Others that are open for discussion is Varo, Impervious, other smaller community-owned registries and registrars, and others. So this would be in 2 phases, this airdrop to the SLDs sold by those TLDs. Phase 1 is already concluded, already cut off, will be to all of those TLDs that had SLD registrations. Phase 2 is still open and will be going until Handshake's 5th birthday, which would mean those that hear about this and want to work hard to get SLDs registered can do so and get part of this airdrop. The third part of the first half is all TLD owners would be airdropped HNS based on the amount they burned relative. You can again read all of this in detail on the GitHub. This is an overview. And this would be domains minted by February 3rd, 2025. So it would be still open. Another major part of this proposal is a centralized company, a registered company. I know there's a lot of different opinions about this, but it would be a company formed. This would establish to do these various activities. This is not going to control anyone. We're not going to have to work for them or listen to them, but they're going to do these points. Coordinate this hard fork and kickstart this V2, raise funds from investors at the terms listed here, develop the L2 and smart contracts to make this workable on the layer 2 of Handshake and all be in Handshake coin currency, build an application or decentralized application on L2 for social media creators and community owners, help lead the community for the future governance of this, and work with browsers and exchanges to integrate Handshake and establish market making and liquidity. Who is involved in this company? As of the proposal, Nole will be leading this with Andrew Lee's support, Namebase, Kaioken or Bob Wallet, and Superlink. What's the responsibilities? Assisting with the hard fork, helping with the L2, and helping with a decentralized application, DApp. The members' roles and responsibilities: Namebase is help with the protocol, Kaioken or Bob Wallet would be the technical coding for the L2 and the application, Superlink with the design. Others are welcome to join this board, determined by the community, and contribute with their own abilities. The third major part is an L2 layer 2 of Handshake. So you can look that up if you're not familiar. The point of it is to allow people to have a decentralized SLD, domains sales of the ecosystem denominated in HNS coin. Be a trustless bridge between L1 and L2 and other EVMs. And as we said with the interview on Sky Include, Nole was saying this could be similar to a stacks on Bitcoin type system connecting back to the L1. Some other requirements: it's got to connect to L1, of course Handshake, with L2, be able to bridge back and forth, and these are some of the requirements. Also some more requirements you can read here. Essentially it makes the smart contract layer of the TLDs for SLDs. And another part the company is going to do is make the first decentralized application, Rev ID, and you can read this, but it was basically going to empower community creators to engage their communities, empower them with SLDs on these decentralized SLD system. And of course, it's also going to help with the future governance, setting up this republic of TLDs with the other half of the airdrop, which will go to future people for voting and participation. The fourth part of the hard fork is reserved names claimable again. So when the soft fork happened, it made unclaimable certain ICANN TLDs. We want to make those claimable again. You can read the details here. It's a screenshot from the GitHub. So again, just to reiterate the same points, this is the four main parts of the V2 of Handshake: reallocating unclaimed GitHub airdrop, forming a company, developing a L2, and making the reserved names claimable. Let's reignite the community, because this is gonna, I believe there's gonna be more and more censorship. And while you can say there's some centralization discussed in this, the centralized company has very clear roles and it's not going to interfere with your decentralized usage of the blockchain. Download these slides at static.skyinclude.com/hnsv2.pdf. Thank you for watching.